Steven Whiteaker Jr. I'm from Corpus Christi, Texas, and I drive a Black Diamond late model. My dad raced since he was 15 or 16. I grew up around it. Wanted nothing more but to have my own race car. I wish he would have picked up golf or fishing or something, but man, it's just a passion. I grew up around it. That's all I ever wanted to do, and all I ever lived and breathed and thought about was racing. And I raced with the USMTS series for almost 10 years and had a couple of wins and was gone for months at a time from home, traveling down the road, racing 65 times a year. And when you're on top of your game, it takes a lot of time. Anybody can be a race car driver. If you want to be a good race car driver, the ones that don't know thinks it takes money. The ones that do know knows it takes a lot of time and effort, a lot of studying, because this stuff is steadily evolving. Things are changing every day, and if you're not on top of the game, you're going to be a back marker. All I did was complain at every track promoter for the last 7 or 8 years that ran South Texas Speedway. I told them how I thought I could do it better, and here I am, and I have my shot, and I don't know if I'm doing better or not, but it's been fun, and we're giving it a shot for sure. I learned that you're always wrong in every situation, no matter what you're faced with, no matter what the question is, no matter you're always the wrong one. And as much as I always thought it was about the drivers, making the drivers happy, and man, honestly, the drivers are very easily made happy. You got to keep the fans in the stands. You got to keep them coming back. That's been the trickiest part, because one week you'll have 800 in the stands and you think you got it, and the next week you had 200 and you're like, what happened? So it just keeps you on your toes in that aspect. But I look around at different tracks I've been to a lot, and you just you go somewhere and you like the way they do things, and you kind of just make a mental note of it, and you go some places where they can't even mow the grass there, and you're like, you pull in and that's your first impression is this place looks like crap, and if you walk in and the place looks decent and they're trying, that you have a shot there. But man, every track's different and nothing's ever the same. You don't even know what as a track promoter, I've only done it, I'm going on my 6th race. Every race night's been different track conditions, different attitude of the drivers, different attitude of the fans. So you don't know what you're going to be faced with until that green flag drops. And even then, it's still skeptical throughout the night of what's going to be different this night than last night. Balancing, it's not balanced very well. I didn't have near the time to do that, and I honestly don't know why I did it. But I went from racing a bunch, and family happens, life happens. I'm not 18 no more. I just turned 30 years old. I don't know how many 30-year-olds are promoting racetracks these days, but there can't be very many of them. I made a commitment about 2 years ago. I started my own wrecker service, first class towing service, and it's grown into I got a couple of trucks and a couple of drivers now, and so my priorities changed a little bit, and I couldn't go and spend every dollar that I had and begged, borrowed, and stole to go race. Your priorities change, and I want to be at the baseball games and want my kids have a good life like I did. Well, of course, it causes stress when my wife wants something and I tell her I'm broke, and she sees that I just bought 8 new tires for the late model, So, but she's very supportive of it, very supportive of anything that I do. No matter what I tell her that I'm going to do, she always believes in, she always thinks I can do it, and she's always behind me, and we have 3 boys, Steven, Jason, Dax, and, Steven goes, if you mention racing, he's there. It's a 4-hour drive and 15 minutes of it. Are we in Houston yet? No, we're not in Houston yet. He races a go-kart, and then I got, Jace, who had a T-ball game this morning, so we went to T-ball and left from there, and so that's the kind of, I always think it's going to be okay to miss those games. I've seen 20 of them, what's one, but I borrowed a car from Derek Ramirez to go to the fall jamboree a couple years ago, and when I was at the jamboree, all I thought about was missing one of his football games, and that's kind of when I made my decision, like this racing isn't as important as it used to be. The sports are definitely what keeps me at home, and I'm not complaining one bit. I love watching them. I love helping coaches and telling him everything he's doing wrong, and so but yeah, my whole family's a good racing family, so everybody supports me, aunts, uncles, cousins. I mean, if I need something, if we need to thrash on the car, I can make a couple phone calls and have 4 people there and put a whole car together in a night, so that definitely helps everything, is having such a supportive family. We got a late model this year and wanted to try something different. They had the South Texas Late Model Series, and we ran with at I-37 at the beginning of the year, or a couple weeks ago, probably about a month ago. It was our first race. It was actually my first race of the year. I missed the last two for graduation parties and stuff, and the next scheduled race was here, so here we are. I just want to leave in one piece. That's the goal. We ran I-37 and we had a very strong car, and we had a driver error. I put it in the front stretch wall leading by myself, nobody around me. So if I can just have some fun here and leave with the car and the trailer in one piece, I'm happy. I'll be fine.
Flags, 4 down, 4 to go. Whitaker.
Man, the track's really narrow. Haven't been here in a while. These cars are really wide. Started last and was just gonna bide my time, you know. But we're gonna pick a couple of them off. Then we got the second, had a caution, and car felt good. Just we have a crate motor, and track's got some moisture on it. You need some power. But the car felt good, and we got some good passing points, put us in a good spot for the feature.
Steven Whiteaker, your winner in the 717 P.J. Egbert.
Well, we started fourth, and before the first caution came out, we got to third, and the top two was running the top. And I was about to go by on the bottom, and we had a caution, but I ran out of tear-offs, about 10 to go, and I just didn't feel comfortable racing that close to GW and risk, running into them or spinning us both out or something like that. But I'm happy with tonight. Cars in one piece. We finished second. We ain't got much to complain about. We'll go home, wash it up, and go through it all again and be ready for the next one.
Congrats to them. It was a fun race for sure. I had a blast, even though he put it on us. I had a good time, and hopefully we'll be back soon.
See you back here real soon. Y'all give him a real nice hand. Steven Whiteaker Jr.